Last week, 6 people were shot and killed in Henrietta, Oklahoma. Investigators say the shooter then turned the gun on himself. Officials say Jesse McFadden, a convicted sex offender, killed everyone on the property. The victims were 2 missing teen girls, his wife Holly McFadden, and her 3 teenage children. The commander of the Violent Crimes Task Force in the area says that McFadden used a handgun that his wife purchased last year.
People can't understand why. People that perpetrate crimes like this are evil. I do not believe that the parents of Brittany or Ivy did anything wrong, and they are devastated by the loss of their children. That being said, I don't think you can be too careful with your kids. Know where they're going and who they're going to be with.
We also heard from the woman who says that she was a victim of a 2003 rape. Jesse McFadden was convicted of that rape in 2003. He served prison time but did get early release. Crystal Strong says she is reliving a nightmare. She was 16 years old when Jesse McFadden raped her. Strong says it has been a slow, painful recovery.
After I was tied up and everything, he did hold a knife, sort of like a pocket knife or a switchblade knife, to my throat. I remember just sobbing on my couch, and my daughter had come home, and I said, I think they're going to let Jesse out of prison even after all this. And she's like, Mom, it's okay. And I said, no, it's not okay. He's going to do it again. They can't let him out.
Well, we talked to a local member of a police force for advice for folks worried about their safety. Well, joining us now in 4029 News on the Record is Fayetteville Sergeant Tony Murphy. Sergeant, thank you so much for joining us today. And before we talk about situational awareness and also exploring some of the ways that we can all be more proactive, which I want to get to, let's talk first about the sex offender registry. Now, the victim, Crystal Strong, told us that despite Jesse McFadden being a registered sex offender, he was still able to be around minors, attend events around minors, have kids in his home. And so legally, what can sex offenders do and cannot do?
Well, that's really based off the level on the registry that they are. So in Arkansas, there's 4 different levels, 1 being the lowest level of sex offender and 4 being the most violent and the most restrictive. So it'd just be based off what level they are. You know, there could be instances where they're not allowed to be around schools and stuff like that. So it'd just be based off their level.
Okay, so overall though, well, where can they live or not live? Now I know that's something they have to report. Talk to us about the basics of what a sex offender is able to do and what they have to do to report and to keep police updated on where they are.
Well, basically they have to register. You know, quite often at the police department we will see the sex offenders come in and speak to one of our detectives. We have a detective that is assigned to the sex offender registry, and they have to come in quite often and register with him and make sure that they're up to date on where they're living, that they have no social media access. Depending on what level they are, they're not allowed to have social media access. They're not allowed to live within a certain distance from a school. So there are a lot of restrictions that come with that, and we assign a detective, and I believe that most police departments and sheriff's office have a certain individual that keeps track of the sex offenders in their area and make sure that they're staying up to date. And if they aren't, we will go arrest them.
Okay. Now, is it required that all sex offenders can't be living near a school? It's not just child sex offenders, is it all?
Well, I think that's based off the level. I would have to brush up on that portion of the law. So
now, the sex offender registry is something that all citizens, Arkansans and Oklahomans, can look at and find what is happening in their neighborhood, correct?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go to a lot of different places to find that sex offender registry. You can go to the Fayetteville city website and go to the police department side. If you just Google Arkansas sex offenders, it'll take you to arc.org, where you can also find that information, and it will give you a map. You can put in an address and it'll show you the sex offenders that are registered in your area.
Okay, and how often is that updated? Is it pretty current?
It is pretty current. You know, I don't know exactly how often they update that, but if you go in and look at it now, you will definitely see that it's updated quite often.
Is that something that you recommend that people do? I mean, we don't want to scare people, but is that something
that you recommend?
Well, definitely.
You know, if that's something that makes you feel safer and you want to know who your neighbor is, definitely do that. And this day and age, a lot of people don't know who their neighbors are, and they don't know who's living down the street from them. So it's a very good tool if you have small children at home, or if you know, you just want to know who's living in your neighborhood, I would check it out.
Okay, we're going to talk about some situational awareness items, a couple of things that we all can keep in mind and have it be on our top of our minds after this happened in Oklahoma. So we'll be right back here on 4029 News on the Record to continue our conversation.